I think I broke my ankle.
Doing an adventure ride from the Sunshine Coast to Sydney was always one on our bucket list. We couldn't have been more excited and thought it was going to be one of our best riding trips yet. But unfortunately, we were very wrong, and our ride had a very sudden and unexpected end. So welcome back to the channel, everybody, and today is actually a very exciting day because we're starting our adventure ride down to Sydney. So we've been wanting to do this trip for ages now, but it's kind of been pushed down the road until we finally last week decided it's finally time to get all packed up and ready to go. So we got all our camping gear loaded on as well, and we've got all the bags packed. So we kind of don't have an exact route planned. We kind of got a few ideas from GPX files online, but for the most part we're winging it, and especially because there's a bit of rain on the radar, so we're going to kind of day by day go and try and dodge the weather as much as possible. But for the most part we're going to try and do predominantly dirt roads and stuff, but I'm super excited and keen to get on the road. With the bikes all packed, it wouldn't be long until we hit the road. We all had brought our camping gear and any extras we would need along the way. Although it looks like we have packed for a year's vacation, we had no idea how long we would be riding for, so I'd planned for everything. And it is very exciting. It is Mum's debut with her new bike. And she's got all the gear loaded up as well. So she's actually only ridden it once, just for a quick putt around, only for about 100 kilometers. So this is really her first test ride. So I'll be super interested to see how she goes, and hopefully she does really like it. But it is an absolutely beautiful bike. I'm obviously pretty eager to get going on this trip because I'm first on the bike out of the three of us. The others aren't dressed yet, so I'm just sitting here waiting for now, but I'm super excited. I've been looking forward to this trip for a very long time now, so it's very exciting that it's finally come to fruition. But yeah, oh gosh, it feels so good when you're all loaded up and there's endless possibilities ahead. So, oh, I'm so excited, I can't wait. She's obviously not feeling the extra weight of the luggage too much. She's got the biggest grin on her face, Linda man. Oh, that's so good. It's always worrying when you get something new that it won't be up to scratch, but she seems to love it.
Gosh, I don't even notice the weight. It feels so good. Granted, I only had a quick ride when I got it the other day, but on my 690, the weight, I got really squirrely at the back. I'm not even noticing the weight.
Oh,
I love it.
It looks so good.
I know,
I'm a little bit jealous. You're all kitted out.
Yeah.
Just done a quick swapping of the bike because Mum's over the moon, and Dad said he hopped on his and it felt like a quote-unquote elephant. So He's actually got one of these on order now, but he was a bit unsure if he actually wanted to keep it or not and keep his 890, but it's all about the test riding and comparing the weight and how it feels. Mum just says the weight is a little bit lower, so it's a bit easier to manoeuvre.
Well, I just love my 890. I think it's fantastic, but I just think I'm older, weaker after surgery, a bit weaker, and then with the extra weight, I just think it might be a little bit too much.
You're not keen on Mum running circles around you right now on her new bike, are you?
No, she's got to, yeah. I'm not going to be a hero this trip.
Oh, she's not going to swap with you anytime soon. She's in love. She's got the biggest smile on her face known to man. So we're aiming to get to Boona tonight, which is a little bit out from Beaudesert. I'm not sure how we'll go with that one because we only left about midday today. We're a bit later than we wanted to, but that's always the way with us. Our first bit of dirt in the Glasshouse Mountains area, and it's a pretty good feeling, I have to say. It's a very good place to start your trip. It's spectacular. It has been raining over the past couple of days, so I got to be a bit aware of this red clay, how slippery it is. But I'm currently in the lead. I wonder how Mum's finding the first bit of dirt with all her luggage on, because she was ranting and raving about how amazing it was on the road. So fingers crossed it's as good on the dirt as well. Yeah, as I was saying before, Mum and I are very lucky to have new tyres for this trip, which I think will make a difference, especially for me, because my back tyre was looking a little bit bald because we hadn't actually changed it since before our Cape trip. So most of the Ks I've done on this bike had been on that back tyre, so it was a little bit overdue, but we thought we might as well get it done for this trip, seeing we're going to be adding a few more Ks to it. So we're wanting to find as much dirt as possible, and so far I think we're doing pretty good. It's absolutely amazing out in these Glasshouse Mountains. My bike feels pretty good even off-road with all the luggage on as well. Oh my goodness, just check out that view. That's just incredible. How lucky am I? So as I was saying before, we are kind of winging most of our directions. We do have a few GPX files that we're kind of basing our trip down to Sydney off, but most of those actually start from Brisbane. So we're just kind of going wherever until then from the sunny coast. But luckily Dad's actually pretty good at making things up as he goes and finding some good roads and trails for us. Hopefully it doesn't rain on us. It is looking a bit dark and gloomy up ahead. It seems that whenever we're packing for an overnight trip or a bit of a longer trip, it rains. It rained on us at the Cape and at Fraser, so fingers crossed we don't keep that streak as well. Spent the last week hotting up Mum's new bike, which has been super fun. We've been basically up in our shed 24/7. So she's got everything from new crash bars to new hand grips and new stickers and everything like that, but it's been super cool to do up, and she is over the moon with it already, which is super cool. We did have a stop and chat before, and oh my goodness, she is so excited. It really is the perfect bike for her though, especially with all the luggage loaded on and that. She's still able to ride it perfectly, and we haven't gone too technical just yet, mostly just standard dirt roads, but it's a start anyway. As we build our confidence, we'll get used to the bike along the way. These windy roads out here are awesome. We're pretty lucky that the weather has held off on us as well. Especially seeing my raincoat is at the very bottom of my bag. So we kept checking the weather and it was like, oh, it's not going to rain today. And while I'm riding, I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, if it starts pouring down, I haven't packed my backpack very well because I have to dig through it to reach a raincoat. But anyway, you live and you learn. It's awesome, these windy roads.
Really good. And I still like Mama.
Oh, really? I would never have guessed. My bike's particularly comfortable as well, I have to say. So we're riding next to Lake Somerset now at the back of Kilcoy. And some of these windy roads are super fun, so good way to introduce ourselves to the trip. As you can see, we are all decked out, basically prepared to run away for the rest of our lives. We can basically travel around Australia and never go home now. So we're just hitting some dirt again after being on the tar for a while. We've taken a few little wrong turns down some no-through roads, but I guess that's all part of it. We've booked a little motel in Boona for our first night. We only booked that about an hour ago, kind of seeing how far it would get. So that should be good, kind of just to get us intro to the trip. But yeah, it's got quite late quite quickly. I think it might be around 5 o'clock or so. But we shouldn't be too far away from Boona now. We've done about 225 kilometres and have been travelling for almost 4.5 hours. So this trip is all about finding all the back roads we possibly can, all the dirt we can to get down to the Sydney area. And we probably would have planned a little bit more if we, but in saying that, we're not very good at the planning, but we did only decide to go on this trip actually about a week ago and started really getting ready for it. We finally decided it's time. We've been wanting to do it for a while now, so we just went hunting online for some GPX files, which we are kind of following. We have already gone down a couple no-through roads, but nothing too extreme. Potentially we've gone down another one right now. What are you thinking?
Huh?
What are you thinking?
The track.
I think when there's a sign no through road, they actually mean no through road.
Yeah, that usually is the way.
Yeah, but it's I think.
Yeah.
The GPX tracks we're following are quite old.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, but there's a sign at the beginning that says no through road.
no worries.
You live in your land, don't you?
We'll go around.
We'll go around.
We'll leave the cows if they're
Anyway, we'll find our way eventually. So we've just made it to Boona now, and it is 5:30. So we actually made pretty good time in the end, and we still got a bit of light on our side. So we didn't do as much dirt as we wanted to today. So we were actually on the tar for quite a bit, but it was actually a really good day, a really good introduction to our ride, and Mum absolutely loved her bike, which is fabulous. So we've just arrived at the Boona Motel, which I'm pretty glad we're not setting up camp on the first night. So we got a bit of a soft launch into our trip, but I'm keen to keep going tomorrow and see how far we can get. After a night in Boona, we headed off early the next morning to start our second day of riding. We had high hopes of finding more great tracks on the way to Sydney, but that was very short-lived. We never would have guessed what was to come later that day. So good morning everyone, and welcome to day 2 of our adventure ride from the Sunshine Coast down to Sydney. So we just left Boona and it is about 7:30 now, so we just stayed in a motel there overnight, which was really good. So we're on the road again today, and we're not 100% sure of our end destination as of yet, but we're aiming to get to Tenterfield this morning just to kind of decide how we're going from there and keep planning our route. But the problem with today is we are playing a little bit of dodgem with the weather, because on the radar there are some showers coming up this afternoon, so we're not sure if we'll quickly dart out to the coast to try and avoid them or not, but we'll see how we go with that. It started out as the perfect morning, and we were able to find some amazing tracks along the way. However, things took a turn when we started on a track which for us to get through entailed 12 rocky river crossings. It was definitely out of Mum and I's comfort zone, but we had to give it a go. But unfortunately, this would lead to an early end to our trip.
There'll be crossings on this one. When I saw the sign saying first crossing, I was like, oh no.
Oh, there's more of them.
Well, it said first crossing, so I'm guessing there's going to be more.
Oh no, I can't do that again.
Well, I have a bad feeling about this one. Come on.
I think I broke my ankle.